Yeah, shout. We did it again. Yeah.
They'll go through it. They're very happy. They'll go through it.
Let's go take care of him.
Alright. Oh.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, let's get a Hold on, I suck to the woman. Hey!
Yeah, turn it back.
Strike now, play now, boy. But she just playing out so say I be the one for her heart and
Why?
Shower, neighbor, third blood clot,
One more point in the ball.
I like that book. No one beat up or something make it jump up. You know me love fuck. You know me love your skin out the tight ball. We just all fuck you. We're full of girl that are always there. Just got a girl so she come from me. Every girl want wine up play some DJ. And it fat and big. Then make it out your boat like glass. Fuck your heart, make your one big and kicks. Like acrobat, like gymnastics. Fantastic, your wine and shit. Inna your belly, me ya bust like that. That's the note that I told me right now. Me ya go make sure that you understand.
Ahora bueno.
like a Jada kingdom. Everything I get fucked like shit club. So we play shot, we not play that. We get it one time, we like the same spot. Like iPhone, when I hear drop, I'm gonna give a fuck if I'm not be a bad. Listen me, take up the way, sorry for me. People are bad and I speak of it, but bloody crime scene, all I'm a kid. I saw the shoot out to it. So gravity.
that alone I
You
win.
represent?
No.
Fight. Jaya, masing ako.
Here is the misa.
MCI. MCI.
Ready, guys.
Comic.
Yeah, which platform then?
MCI. MCI.
MCI.
Shakira, wagwan. Huh? Wagwan. That's all.
We don't get announcement. And to say, we are just here, we have to be a video say. Nobody knows we are supposed to be here.
Well, some people get their toss against Well, some people get their toss
Brendan, what is wrong?
second?
Yeah?
Or your second? I like some vacancy. I like some vacancy.
Yeah?
I like some vacancy.
Give me a proper letter. Yeah, man. Yeah, straight team, straight team.
Download now.
Yeah, big up yourself. I want MC here in a paper attack. Big up yourself. Big up, respect.
Party, me fly down from Canada. Go go for Daryl boss. Blessing tonight. Put on stuff to lose me for tonight. We are from Canada. We have some stand up to go to Royal boss. Support him.
You're funny already, Auntie. You're funny already.
But them a say, oh, say that the man can't done. And them say the woman don't.
Yeah, go away. The runners are hide. The runners are hide. Alright people, welcome. We start off on a late term, but here what? Celebration about to start in a different way with a buff beer. Right in the vicinity of the police station. Yeah, as the ballots come out, as the numbers roll in. We are stream live. Please like, share and subscribe. Pass on the link. Yeah man. The excitement is about to start. Well, it already begun, but you know, at the early stage, I'm going to analyze the numbers. So as the numbers come in on a better note, we will make you see what I go on. Yeah man. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Pass on the link. That's very important that you share the link. Share the link. Daryl versus Doreen Campbell. For West Portland, East Portland is Anne-Marie Vaz versus Isaac Buchanan. And at the end of the table we have Dr. Andrew Holness versus Mark Golden. Yeah man. So we as I say, we're in Buff Bay, the middle of Buff Bay. You understand? As they count the ballots. So we are waiting the official count off. Yeah man. But the energy is very high. The energy is high but tense. Very tense amongst PMP and Labour Right. So far it's been peaceful, which is something we have to celebrate. Yeah man, very peaceful. Yeah, it's peaceful. Alright, we're gonna go down to a little area here where we have a few Labour Rights celebrating. Family, big up. Yeah man. Yeah, so yeah, but when they have it's a little area, but sometimes you know them little area have the vibes. Yeah man, look on the little, yeah. Yeah, this is just a little team. This is just a little team of Villa 5. Yo, Neymar!
Beat them again. Oh, so we beat them already.
Yeah.
We're going to beat them again.
See him, sir.
Alright, let us pass it on. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like my one. Watch it now. Alright then.
Alright, and go for minutes. I beer vibe. But I don't want them to think that this is the party.
I push out your hard
Yeah,
work, you know,
man. I know one of them things that this is all in person. Three soldiers are by themselves. Run one part. Yeah, man.
Beat the freedom, music. I put on laptop we are giving easy. Beat the freedom, music.
Yeah.
I heard you and said that I go sell 3 chicks. Beat the freedom, music. Beat the freedom, music. Run things.
But PMP.
Godfather, but politics are fit. I hear me master. Tomorrow morning, run them out. Come pick up battles or pop to water. Stinker. Call like fall in our game. I told him, look, hold in our game. Next to them can't get control in our game. Follow up with them fire stick. We want some coal in our game. And a shower. Beat the freedom, green stick. I put on laptop, we are giving easy. Beat the freedom, green stick. Try I heard you and said that I go sell 3 chicks. Beat the freedom, green stick. Beat the freedom, green stick. I live like I run the country, so leave it.
Let's see you.
Beat the freedom, green stick. And we fix the road them in every district. Beat them again, beat them already and we beat them. I want to see them and come point up the road. Beat them again,
Sure.
beat them again. Beat them already and we beat them again. Oh, this is follow beat 1, follow beat 2, and them central we jump in a hot galalo. Follow we and the follow me and run come and follow you. Beat them already.
Alright, we are going to left it 3.
How much is a stick you have again?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cheers, Sam.
Why go now? Leave my line.
Alright then. Beat the freedom. Green stick. Leave my line. Not this stick. Something I said, nothing more you have.
A winning.
Oh. Everybody can move again.
No flower, flower.
What is a stick up to be?
No flower, who? What problem is that? What angel? Amen.
Yeah, man, remember to like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. Pass on the link. Share up the link for me now. Because you might see somebody that you know, somebody that you grew up with. You understand? As we celebrate the early wins. Yeah, man. Yes, talk it. Yes, Auntie. Auntie, warm.
Take back everything now.
Yeah man, thank you for liking, share and subscribe to the link. MCI Studio, pass on the link. Pass it on to everybody you know. Tell somebody to tell somebody. We are in Buff Bay, Portland, West Portland, celebrating the victory of one Daryl Vaz. And we had some difficulty with the connection, that's why we started so late. Digicel had problems with the connectivity across the island for both the mobile and the land service. So we are a bit delayed with the starting time. But we are up fully and running. I guess it's probably the cluster of persons online now following the 2025 general election against Andrew Holness and Mark Golden. Yeah man. We're in Buff Bay across from the primary school. Yes. See him sir. Yeah. The results are coming in. Newsroom live stream. Oh, get you night.
You want to Daryl Vaz.
See him, sir. Bless her. See him, sir. Respect. This is how I do over crew. Yeah, man.
Done all the way.
Yeah. Respect. killer, start it. Kick it through it. Yeah man, thank you for those following. Please continue to share the live. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Cassandra Bennett, Cassandra. Alaska, Nigel, Dalloway, congratulations to JLP, respect. You sure I got more, big up yourself, blank, big up yourself. Shamonia, Henry, big up yourself. Hola. Where are the messages going to leave office? Where are the messages going to leave office? Yeah, Rush. Rush. Around everybody. The HP everybody. Huh? We got HQ. Headquarters. Oh. Eh?
Yeah, get it.
No, it's good, man. It's good. I'm not sure I'm going to reach all the way. No.
Holding out, we run the road. 2016 we start the wave. 2020 we lock the brave. Now 2025 history said. Labor right to lead man Jamaica red. School below, road 6 feet. Water no pipe, food on the seat. Jobs a flow, you get the grade. September 3 and the final feet. Mr. Progress can't stop. JLP with the funny ball. From the ghetto to the wall. And the holy Santa. Hear my Lord. Hear my Lord. Hear my Lord. From the street to the polling booth, we run the road. Infrastructure up, we set the train line blaze. Future set, bright new day. Tourism up, the economy raise. Jamaica's right in a world young days. Man a work hard, woman a strive. Better life, make the whole place thrive. Opposition can't match the driver. Victory in the sight, watch the green flag and go.
Sister. Big up. Alright, we're gonna take a stroll down to the neighborhood headquarters to see what's happening at that side. You. Yeah. Eh? Boy, I'm there, boy, I'm there. Where you going with? Feel weird.
You're not good,
Yeah. Alright.
Won in 2020. She's back. She's going back to Parliament. Hard-working member of Parliament. I'm very happy for her, just as I'm happy for Crawford and many other persons.
Okay, we in fact have Mackenzie Robinson, who is in Trelawney Northern. Let's go to her. I'm now at the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium in Falmouth, where the counting has been concluded for the Trelawney Northern constituency. And the word that I'm getting from the election officials is that the seat was successfully retained by the incumbent member of Parliament who was seeking a second term as MP, Tova Hamilton. Now she is the first female member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, and she has successfully done so tonight from what we've heard. She was going up against the People's National Party representative, Dr. Wickham McNeil, who is the political juggernaut, who is not new to the scene at all, and so he was seeking redemption because he was unseated when he served as member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland in the 2020 general election. We saw very frantic and chaotic scenes here tonight, where even one of the Jamaica Labour Party supporters, in the height of their excitement and partying, she passed out and she was rushed to seek medical attention. We've not gotten any word as to her state right now, but we're hoping that she is recovering well. But now the place has been emptied out. The lot is really and truly emptying out right now. As you can see behind me, there's a huge Jamaica Urban Transit Company bus, and just before we started this video, we saw very long lines of traffic emptying out the lot, heading back onto the main road. So the polls have closed, the counting has ended, and it seemed to have been Miss Tova Hamilton from the Jamaica Labour Party who was first past the post tonight.
We were talking about the seat, and as I was saying, I think this exactly makes my point. The parties can no longer afford to be complacent. Be complacent and think of seats as, oh, safe PNP or safe JLP seats. And I think that's actually great for the country, great for the constitution.
Themselves, and overall, as I've been saying, great for democracy.
Quite a few of the young women from the JLP who won in 2020 have been returned in 2025.
Hamilton, Doreen Campbell, Crystal Lee. Okay, here is Juliet Holness's seat now. St. Andrew East Rural, 130 of 137 boxes declared for Juliet Holness. So the former speaker goes on to her seat.
Yes.
If we can spend a moment and try and figure out what is happening in West Central St. Andrew, when it comes up on the screen, we'll see what is going on with the Prime Minister. Well, I mean, the numbers hadn't moved, so.
Right, but when we get our update, it will move in favor of the Labour Party.
The numbers are the same. It's the same, that's what I'm saying. It's been the last 2 or 3 times it's come up, it's been the same. So I suspect the next time we see it, it'll probably be completed.
Yes.
I know a lot of the time, I get nothing. I know a lot of the time, the people who are watching the counting.
That is why I'm saying when it's changed the next time, you will see part of the Dr. Hans Holness.
What we have is notice so what my side is saying that Sophie St. Mary has been called for for Christopher Ball.
Yeah. No, so, sorry, you just got yourself in a really trouble with your party people there.
There it is. Now, yeah. Dr. Dunn is leaving. Yeah?
So, right, so there's only one box left there. And so you're saying that...
You're saying it's been called.
You're saying that one box has been given.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah.
That's my understanding as well. By 12, I understand.
Another one going to the
magisterial recount, yes. But we will see. So whose column was that in for anybody?
That was a mistake for the PNP in my column. They needed to take back Southeast St. Mary. And they have, but again, I said, based on my code, it's still coming up a little short because of, the other areas that have not come fully. So...
that's one of those cases, if indeed that win is confirmed, in which the PNP finally managed to take back.
Yeah, at the moment we're tuning in to get some official update according to the overall count. So
as well.
We're at the Labour
St. Catherine
HQ now
with Dr. Alfred Dawes.
Watching for further updates.
Robert Miller losing there, I think we already showed that. But again, when they did manage to wrest Central Manchester from Rodamoy, that's a big, really big win or hold for the Jamaica Labour Party. So you do take one there, but then you don't take the other, and the numbers just don't add up. Yeah. Malibu Fort as well in West Central St. James. I think you were hoping to take that one. Yes. You may come up just a little short with that one, even though it's not yet officially completed in terms of counting. but we shall see.
Okay, let's just since you mentioned that, this is the latest we have from West Central St. James, 82 boxes of 106. The JLP's Marlene Malahoo 40 with 4,788. The JLP's Andre Horton 4,192. Clifford Barnett 15 votes. We'll go to a break. We're back with our live election show in just a moment.
Missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints
Sorry.
Also with us, we have Walsh from Young Jamaican affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party, Clifford James with us as well, from the PNP-YO, the youth arm of the People's National Party. Jamaica's parliament has 63 seats. Now, in the last election, 2020, the Jamaica Labour Party had won with a landslide, relegating the PNP to only 14 seats. So in this election, which party would get 32 seats first and would therefore form the government? And the last count we had got from our reporter is at the electoral office tracking for 34 seats for the, here we go, the national count. Now I think these are the declared seats, the completed seats, if I'm correct. 29 for the JLP and 28 for the PNP. The last count we got in terms of how all the seats were trending was that the Jamaica Labour Party was leading, we have been told, in 34 seats and the PNP leading in 29. So there are a few critical seats that we have still been watching. And here we have St. Mary's South East. And the PNP's Christopher Brown has taken this with 6,642. He has defeated the incumbent Jamaica Labour Party's Norman Dunn, 6,631. And that is an 11 vote difference. Not right that time. Well, for that, because the other one said that Mark Hutchinson of the JPP holds 26.
Second time for an 11 vote win in St. Mary's, South Africa. Did Dr. Winston Green win by 11 over by the same Dr. Norman West before? So this is interesting. We'll also head to a magisterial recount, but on the night, each of them winning the 49.9%, but just split by 11 votes. Alright, so we'll stop on that. But just to remind our listeners as well, the count that takes place on election night is a preliminary count. Now, after tonight, then we will have what is called the final count. At the end of the final count, the parties then have the opportunity or the chance to apply for what is called the magisterial recount, which parish judge will do. Normally you do that when you have a very, very small margin, and I was saying a little bit earlier on, a margin of 200 votes or 100 might sound like a very small margin. You're not going to get that sort of magisterial recount. That is where you know the parties are tonight, and the judge will scrutinize every single ballot and start to get arguing over where this X was marked, and if this ballot was invalid, and if this one was discarded and should not have been discarded. So there's a process that is going to be put in train as soon as tonight's preliminary counts are over. Here we have Trelawney Southern now, box 44 of 96, Marissa Daryl Silver with 2,823 votes, and the PNP's candidate Paul Patmore 2,608 votes. Just a reminder for our viewers, for our listeners, you hear me, all of us, we're here reading out the counts. That is because we are live on not just radio, but also not just TV, not just the internet, but also radio. So we are accommodating our radio listeners as well. And we thank you all so much for being here with us, wherever it is in the world you are joining us from. We know we have a huge following in the diaspora. We're happy to have you here with us as well. So that still looks like only about 50% gone there. And I know we had heard that Paul Patmore was we'll see what happens when we find out what the country is. So, is there anything that surprised you so far?
No, I expected it to be very close, and therefore I'm not surprised at how close it has turned out to be. I think versus the fact that with 18 boxes left in West Central that the Prime Minister is, at least by what we have seen, trailing at the moment. But there are still 18 boxes to go, so he could very well, bring it home still.
One of the things our listeners and viewers will have heard throughout the night, you will hear one of the panelists saying something like 10 boxes are you might have one candidate leading in a particular constituency, but if the boxes left to come in are coming from a stronghold of the other party, then you could see that result turn inside out. And that's basically what it is we're kind of seeing happening throughout the night. Sometimes you see the seesawing of the votes going between the two candidates. A lot of the times that's what's taking place. Okay. So now, the issue in relation to what happens as soon as this is over, as we said, the party that is declared the victor, we're going to be declared the victor, we're going to expect to hear, because of course, viewers and listeners, we are going to be with you until the end. So we are going to be waiting to hear whoever gives their victory speech, whoever gives their concession speech, and we were talking the other night, or about the night, in fact, when there was no concession.
Yes, and that was 2007. I think it was 2007. It was that close, and the Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller did not concede that night. They were awaiting some recounts, and but by the next day it was clear that the JLP had won.
So they all actually prepare two speeches. We hear you have to have two speeches, or all people just come out and talk.
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure that the leader of the Labour Party would have prepared one speech, because from the get-go it was clear that Jamaica should choose Jamaica and receive it tonight.
Are they choosing Jamaica? But what I'm seeing, the PPM gain massive ground in this election. Regardless of who becomes the Prime Minister. I think that's one of the things we should tap on the shoulder.
This is a sport, right? It's a sport. You have to have a winner, you have to have a loser. Tonight, you're the loser.
And clearly, those on the
Clearly,
St. Anne's South declared for Xavier Main, and we previously declared the previous seat, which kind of went past Crystal Lee and Anishka. Right, declared for, there we go, declared for Crystal Lee of the Jamaica Labour Party, 8,050 votes to 7,488 for Gabriel Morris of the People's National Party. Right. Gabriella Morris had been a senator, throwing her hat here to the representational ring. So this will short this down around.
This means there's no change at all in St. Anne. The PNP went in with Southeast, which is their bastion. They've held that. This is Lisa Hannah's seat, Bobby Mullins' old seat, crucial to the PNP base. Northeast St. Anne, which is Shahini Robinson's old seat, has been held by Maki Samuda. St. Anne Northwest, Crystal Lee won that in 2020 and she has retained it. Fought off the challenge by Gabriella Morris. And then St. Anne Southwest, that's the Xavier Main seat that he has also held. That particular one. So there's no change between 2020 and 2025 in St. Anne.
So here's the question. So let's assume
there are a couple ways that I will look at this. I keep saying that 2020 was an electoral anomaly. It still is in many respects. So that what has emerged from 2020 is that the people are willing to re-elect a very hard-working member of parliament even if that member of parliament started out as an anomaly in 2020, but they've continued to doing good work. So I say this so I believe Rosemore Crawford, I believe Crystal Lee and Tova Hamilton, who had some issues, she has clearly rebalanced them, and perhaps it is setting a new sort of trend. If we look at it that way, then perhaps for Mark Golding and the PNP, they shouldn't be so swift to seek to discard him, because they're coming from a point where Dr. Peter Phillips was perhaps deemed to be an individual who could not take the PNP to where the PNP is at this time.
A lot of people hadn't thought Golding would be able to cross the line at all. Right. Can I just jump in on you and say that I'm hearing that the official voter turnout has come in at 38.8%, which is bad.
That is 1% above the COVID year. And I certainly, based on the crowds I saw and the anticipation, I thought we were heading to a 55% voter turnout. So I don't know what has gone wrong, why so many people have not, but that is something we said we should study again, as we said at the start of the program.
Yeah. May I take you back to the question of Mark Golding's future in the PNP as leader? We have got to the point now where, so he's 60 this year. If they go to the full term, this incoming administration, he would then be 65. I think more and more voters are not looking too kindly in the Jamaican context at someone taking the reins of government heading towards 70. And I think that might, despite what I said earlier, it may be one of the things that they will consider when deciding whether to stick with the leader or seek a younger person to take them forward.
We're going back to EOG now with Kalisha.
Thank you so much, Dion. So we're almost there. 99% of all the boxes counted, and what I'm seeing behind me, the latest figure just refreshed, the People's National Party leading in 30 constituencies, the Jamaica Labour Party leading in 33. Now I'm going to tell you the areas where we're still waiting on all the boxes to be completed. St. Andrew West Central, 83%, the People's National Party leading in that area. Going down now to St. Andrew East Rural, the St. Andrew East Rural, where the Jamaica Labour Party is leading in that constituency. Trelawney Southern, 78% of all boxes counted, and the Jamaica Labour Party is leading in that constituency. Moving over now to Clarendon Northern, 97% of all the boxes counted, and we're seeing where the Jamaica Labour Party is trailing in that constituency in Clarendon Northern. We're going down, well, I think that is it in terms of the progress report for all the constituencies so far. So we're waiting just on a few more constituencies to go. We're seeing where Trelawney Southern, that's the one where we're having only 70%, just over 70% of all the boxes counted in that constituency as well, Dion. So, well, we're seeing another change, Dion. I tell you, the things can change quite quickly here at the ECJ. I'm seeing now where the Jamaica Labour Party is leading in 34 constituencies, and the People's National Party is leading in 29 constituencies. And as I said, we're almost at the finish line. It's back to you.
Thank you so much, Kalisha. Great work that you have been doing for us throughout the week. And as we're saying, we're just about an inch there from the finish line. So the whole issue now, in terms of the extremely close seats, I think it's two we've seen. Yeah. The Central Kingston and the Southeast St. Mary, which is, I mean, there have been elections where we've seen quite a few more that have been very, very close. But we were talking there about the voter turnout because, again, the suggest that neither party is exciting the electorate beyond your narrow base. If we can't even get to 4 out of 10 registered voters deciding to come out to vote. So I'm not sure where that leads us or where we're going with this project we call democracy.
By the way, despite all that has been said tonight about the individual performances of MPs, one wonders what impact the last minute promises in terms of various forms of tax relief, etc., might have had on the votes in some of these constituencies where, somebody's decision to go, for example, for the promise of minimum wage increase, or go for the pension, or go for the 315.
That's one of the things I've been saying, in fact, is that the polling numbers that we have been getting, when I looked at the dates that the posters were in the field, so many things happened after that.
It was some tracking with them.
Yeah, in terms of debates, in terms of the announcements, in terms of the, even the manifestos in some cases being released and what was happening. So I always felt that those poll numbers were going to give us a really indicative sense, but as Don said, his polls had indicated that we were going to see a close election, and we did see that. Yeah. And I think there's been a lot of attempts to try and discredit the RGRB and Don Anderson polls, and I think what we're seeing here from this election is that they were tracking.
Yeah, well, it was always going to be a close election in my view. And I think the context is so important. This is the first time ever that a Jamaica Labour Party government is facing the possibility of a third term in office. And on top of that,
here's an update. 93 boxes of 105 in the Prime Minister's constituency. He's now ahead here, 5,387 votes to Paul McCann of the PNP, 4,904. So 93 boxes, so that's 597, which is 12 boxes.
This side. No, I can visualize Desmond McKenzie wiping the Prime Minister's face with the change in the set, because that must have been a moment. Paul Buchanan did say he's going to unseat Andrew Holness, and he has come pretty close, but things are changing. Yeah. Trelawney South, I think we had a look at that before.
Declared.
No, it's declared.
Yes.
It has reverted to the north.
That was
there was our expectation.
That's Marissa Daryl who Philip She worked for Parliament, she resigned, she went back, she won a seat in a by-election. They call her Mama down there for good reason, Mama D, and she's back. Yes. But I'm saying the context of this election is that it's an historical first for the JLP. And there is a third term syndrome. As we look at West Central, St. James, where Marlene Malahoo Ford is leading with 91 of 106 boxes there. She's leading Dr. Andre Horton, 5,157 to 4,710 for Andre. So you're battling that third term syndrome, and for all of the kitchen sink and so forth that has been thrown at Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party, one really shouldn't be able to recover from that and to even win a third term with all of those conditions prevailing. So I think when the history books are written, there are a lot of pluses that have to go to the JLP, a lot of pluses too to Mark Golding for bringing back the PNP from near virtual electoral death to making them reclaim some of the seats that they lost in 2020.
I think we're seeing live pictures here of the JLP headquarters.
Yes.
So we're waiting to go back to the headquarters and to hear what's happening. Of course, as soon as the various leaders are ready to speak, we'll have that live for you as well.
And by the way, if indeed the turnout for this election is only 1% above 2020, it also says something about the significance of the PNP's move from 14 seats last time to 29 or thereabouts this time. It would seem therefore that the PNP has recovered a significant portion of the vote.
Because when you look at the numbers between 2016 and 2020. Yes, the voting was down and people were saying COVID and so on, but when you looked at the actual numbers, the PNP had lost 127,000 voters and JLP had lost only about 28,000. And as I mentioned, there were some constituencies in which JLP actually managed to increase its vote count. Is it the same number?
No, it's just number.
97 boxes here out of 105, and your whole of the JLP 5,989 for the panel of the PNP 4,923. Right. And I think a story will have to be told as well about this summer fund to the 3rd of September. Because it was the 3rd of September 2007. 3rd of September 2020 rather, 20, and now the 3rd of September 2025, which is when we get ourselves into a cycle, the 3rd of September is probably, we're talking fixed election day, but it will be the 3rd of September for the third term of the GLP. Just to say that the seat has now been declared for Prime Minister Andrew.
As it.
You did say that.
As it.
Cannon, you did promise you would beat Andrew Holness, and you came pretty close to that because I didn't even look at West Central in my calculation because I thought it was a done deal. But he's done well. Yeah? If I ready to come see them. There has to be a point,
I think regardless of who becomes the Prime Minister, who walks into governance as government, the thing he has done amazing in many different ways. Coming from where we were at 40 with broken beds, the part that was in ruins. I think Mark Golden and Dayton has done well in bringing back the party and has represented what the PAP is to Jamaican people. And I sold the PAP to many people as well, because as I said before, the whole country in general has signaled that they want some sort of change. Whether it is from the MP level or whether it's from the national level, they want to see some sort of change.
Especially with only 38% of the vote.
There's accounts for that, like the mishap with today and the growing trend of voter apathy, but in general, people want to see some level of change.
I think what the Jamaican people want is to continue to live a party. When you look at what has happened since 2016
Sorry, hold on. The voter turnout doesn't support it. Because what you have is the max 62% of registered voters who never turn out at all. Right. So that's it's 3 out of 4 registered voters turn out. 6 out of 10 didn't come out. Now when I did the math in 2020, when we had about the same voter turnout, when you actually looked at how many people had voted for the party in power, which is the JLP, it was actually only 20% of registered voters. So because the voter turnout is so low, you're essentially a minority government in terms of support from the voting public as a whole. So it's one thing to say, yes, we won, but surely it must be sobering. So that's why I'm taking issue with you saying this is what the people wanted, because in fact it's a minority who have put you into power. I know it's going to take all and first past the vote.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it is the person who come out to vote. Yes, so what we have...
No, stop right there. That's the point, you know. It's what it is. The persons who came out to vote, most people didn't. So what that means is that most people didn't want either of you. So what does that say about how you relate to them and how you relate to the country?
And that's where I'm going. Okay. I think that is what we have to do as political parties. We have to engage, we have to find new strategies to engage the Jamaican people. And that is something that we, as political parties in the country, have to start to look at, because it cannot continue at 37. I think it was about 37 point something last election, and now it's at 38. In 1993, I believe it was 60%. They were both. So it has 60.28. So,
but in all fairness, Ron, I don't know what can be done to get people out. If people were not electrified for this election, or call us, stick a pin for me, let's go over to the JLP headquarters and join the conversation.
Thank you very much, Dion. The mood here at the JLP headquarters shifted a bit earlier when they saw the numbers of Paul Padmore when he was leading a bit. So the numbers shifted a bit. I'm going to speak to this supporter. When you saw the numbers shifting for the Prime Minister's constituency, what was going through your mind?
I mean, I wasn't demonstrating. If you recall the last election, when that support the working class. I am a working class. I'm looking forward to climb that corporate ladder. And the JLP has statistically in history done better for working class and for the economy. So
Alright, we're live again. Low voltage.
Baseline too heavy, take out some high bass.
Eh?
Why from morning PMP a fight you and install the sound guy? That's so terrible like that, serious.
That's how long it took to go up. Huh? Don't do it.
Yeah, give me a play for so.
Come on.
Me a play.
You drop the pussy with the 50 domino. 8 in the morning, bubble and drop it low. Feel the fuck you very fiesta. Drop the pussy with the top.
bad man show, bad man show. You can see this only chance. To come first with that, you take a last. Is that? And if you take something home with your knees, baby, shake it to the max. The DJ please turn on the place to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max. Bad man chill, 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 bad man chill. You can see nothing at your start. You come first with that, you got the colors. Like a bad home, you can see skin out to the audience. Yellow Ricky got you right, original girl, some of the body not have. Shake it to the max. It's just your mind, let me shake it to the max. 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 Please just your mind, let me shake it to the max. I really like you know for taking over top, yeah. I'm not watching your body like so they know what you're on, yeah. Everything you said, get like do it like it's not. I make up when I want it like the classic. Real bad, classic. I want just what I want. Yes, I'm on track. Anybody can touch this. Baby, I am not a hoe. Price and these body is better than a hoe. I feel that I taste anyway, you see my past. And if you think so, then come with your life. Come with your knees, baby, shake it to the max. If you think so, then I need to the max. It's just your mind, let me shake it to the max. 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 It's your mind, let me shake it to the max.
Alright, people, like, share the live. Mr. Vaz is moments away from entering. He's coming in to do a little brief something. Mr. Vaz is on his way. Apparently, there was a misunderstanding in East Portland where some of the boxes they went missing, but they are now found. So Mr. Vaz is coming to declare what is what.
got them on them money. Talk about me like I'm in the aim, talk about them like not one day. Trust every night, follow me, don't tell me what to do. I got you like I'm in the aim, she can't see so easy. One of the days I didn't know, I think I'm right, I'm supposed to feel. One time I never do, I don't know what to do. No matter what it is, I go on the dark bandy. Can't get more than money, I'm not fool, I'm a city and then man, I'm shelling the goddamn boy. That's why I'm getting the goddamn boy. Anything them go fat, Gucci Lufthansa, anything go fat, Coke Closure, London, Birmingham, Headman Town, but shut up about the jeans, much with a pool of but go check this out, easy and watch the match. Don't get pussy free, must still pay for that. God, for every reason focus, and she made us in my back, fuck. Don't love to get the girl that's open out to me in the sea. Say they don't wash up the fuck for game of chat off. Cool as spoon, I watch the plate, I watch the pop. Buttons from my foot, in the front, bro. Big bins and shit, in the ladder. Niggas do that, show you one now. Start my day, try to take you on the side.
Boss make out a metal.
Yo. Your mother want cheap boss. Come, bro. Check my check.
So, roll up the music again. I think stop them talking.
Has given me my 6th victory. All right. 6 in a row from 2007, 2009. Twice in my 6 terms and in my 6 elections in West Portland, thanks to you, the people of West Portland. Because third term is no longer loaded, it is loaded, not loaded. When they said third term was loading, everybody said no. But tonight, as of 9 o'clock, we have been declared the Jamaica Labour Party returning to power with a 34-29 seat victory. So we are continuing government come tomorrow morning. But it's not finished yet, because there were some seats that were lost very closely. One in Southeast St. Mary by 12 votes, and one is East Portland by a little over 100 votes. We are going to make sure that the recount is done, and if there's need for a magisterial recount, we will do so to make sure that democracy has been followed to its fullest. But I want to say to you tonight that without you, the supporters, the workers, the delegates, not only of West Portland, the runners, the drivers, but for the entire Jamaica, we will not be here, because the majority of the Jamaican population chose Jamaica today when they put their ballot in the box, and I want you to give them a big round of applause. As I always say, without you, there's no me. Without you, there's no Andrew Honest. Without you, there's no Jamaica Labour Party. And you prove that once again in West Portland and across Jamaica today. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because because we have a lot of things to do in this term of office in West Portland. In this term of office in Portland. Because you deserve the rewards that need to be given to you to create employment, create opportunities, and to make sure that all of you are uplifted in life. I want to say to you tonight, you are my commitment that the same loyalty and the same work that you put out for me today, I'm going to continue to put out for you tomorrow and every day going forward in my next term of office. So tonight I say, congratulations to each and every one of you. Congratulations to the Prime Minister and the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party. To all the candidates that won and the candidates that were not successful. Because without you, we would not have made this possible. I say to you tonight, we will have a celebration in due course. I want you to enjoy yourself tonight because there's nothing like enjoying yourself in the heat of the moment. And I guarantee you that tomorrow morning when you walk past the PNP office, them thief off every piece of plywood and zinc. This formal ceremony of my thank you with a song, and then the DJ can go back to the music that the people love to hear, because I want them to party tonight. I'm partying tonight. I'm partying tonight. I'm partying tonight, because guess what? We have everything to deserve this victory and what we have done to make it possible, because every one of you have worked hard. So man, I want you to play my song for the goodness of God. And after that, you can run back the music and burn out the bad mind, burn out evil, wicked, burn out all the fish are before them. Repeat the song. Goodness of God. Never hear. Goodness of God. You know that song, man? For my goodness and my mercies, I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Without Him, nothing is possible in life. Without Him, none of us will be here. And without your faith and our mercy, none of us can survive the trials and tribulations of life.
Champion,
Say that again, Auntie. Say that again. Say that again. Yeah.
They build up Mr. Portland.
Thank you.
They can't broke the vibes. They have become good. They have become can't touch us. Can't touch
I've been having your mind from the moment that I wake up till I lay my head. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life
want nobody to look up to the left or to your right and look at the moon and understand that the good Lord is looking down on us and blessing us today for everything that we achieved. I want to say to you, reach home safe, be careful, tomorrow is another day to enjoy yourself, right into the weekend. But remember, we still have a lot of work to do to continue to uplift the parish of Portland, the people of Portland, and the communities of Portland. And that is my pledge to you. God bless you, and I cannot thank you enough, not only for re-electing me, but for making sure that we were part of the Jamaica Labour Party victory tonight, to continue to move Jamaica from poverty to prosperity. God bless you all. Enjoy yourself tonight. Run the music, man. Run it.
My dogs, set rules, set laws. We represent for the lords of yours. I got alone of being up my from them.
She said, man, and she won't, she like that. She said, man, and she won't, man, and she won't, man, and she won't, she like that. She said, take it easy, I what are you doing? She said, let me take her to you. I said, take her to me. She said, yes, she likes you, but I want to kill. Bad man, them bad mind and just real. New 45 of clutch rate. Give me the glass, let me go brush this. Let's find out, you don't see no fear. Push up and down to your links. Kill a program on me, some of it. iPhone smart from a brain. Diamond 3, you see me up to me. See that 3, 5, 7 feels glass. Drive by these niggas, I don't see that shit. Shit, I don't know, push it round, let that close it up. I'm trying to fuck with the most way. Teach her on Tuesday. Then never run chat to your goalie. Then you want to see what I can on Tuesday. What is it? No, but we have to do it right now. Yeah, sometimes we have to. Like I said, this is the same. Same night like a movie. I see nobody have to prove it. Then for the night like a rosy. Nobody try to talk with the most way. Teach her on Tuesday. Then never run chat to your goalie. Then you want to see what I can on Tuesday. What is on tell me those? But we have to do it right now. Yeah, what we do is sometimes we just get just like this is the snap. Nobody else got a phone to it. So all I call needs to be see the loss of our squad beats. Stop watching touching out the reach. Who wants to see the rich rich? Waiting for free rich. No one to take the call now for me to shit. Become the eagle and let's get to the time. As we come, so they ready back again. Talking to them, I'm intense, smooth, so there's them cold. One time, darling, get the horse, get the zombie leg. Get the nose, get the long leg. Get the dog, don't you tie your face. Get the girl and don't forget your children. 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 Get the girl and don't forget your children.
All right, people, we've come to the ending. Right, so we want